This one is titled Exposing Tyra Banks and the Dark Side of America's Next Top Model. This is by Let's Get Into It. Love to.
People don't see on TV is that there are times when we didn't get fed. We had to film straight through 15, 18 hours without eating. It's almost like they want us to go in there angry so they can have drama.
I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
This show
That is so quotable. I say that shit all the time, and sometimes it don't even make sense. Like it don't fit in the in the scenario. I'm just like, we were rooting for you. Like I wasn't actually. I was against you. But
wasn't meant to help us, it was meant to break us down.
The whole race swapping shoot, I was very uncomfortable. I knew certain things at that point I couldn't even go to Tyra with, and they basically said I had to do that shoot.
She tortured us. That runway was so unsafe.
Do you really think you can have a cover girl contract with a gap in your mouth? This is all people see. It's easier to beautiful cover girl.
Well, I guess she just left the gap wide open for another girl, baby.
I agree.
that yes, it's mean, it's fucked up, but it is funny. I think we need to learn to laugh. And looking back on this, I feel like people are looking at it like with what was it? Presented presentism? I think that's what it is. Presentism. Basically you're looking at the past with today's standards, but back then those it was not the same standards. So you can't really judge it the same. Like yeah, it was fucked up, but you can't crucify people because it wasn't it wasn't seen how it is today.
Let's get into it.
Get into it. Oh, I think I follow him on
Model. I was raised on this show, and even I'm shook at
same.
some of the things they were able to get away with. So we're going to be talking about the series' worst moments, including times where they were racially insensitive, where they've traumatized contestants, and took advantage of vulnerable women whose only dream was to be a model. Now, America's Next
I don't. I know the stuff was probably traumatizing, but I really believe she was just doing what the industry was already had going on. Like she wasn't doing anything different than what the industry standard was. If anything, she was probably trying to break some industry standards, like for the better, not for the
Top
worse.
Model was a popular reality series and modeling competition created by Tyra Banks. The show premiered in 2003 and ran for 24 seasons, with its
Damn.
final season airing in 2018. The series was highly successful, becoming one of the longest running reality TV shows in the US. The show's format
That's a
included
long
various
time.
challenges, photo shoots, and weekly eliminations judged by a panel of fashion experts. Now, the judges may have changed out throughout the seasons, but Tyra Banks was always there. This was her show, and she's really the person who's responsible for everything that happened, all the bad behavior, all these ideas, these terrible competitions, which I want to start off by talking about some of the racist moments. On more than one occasion, the models were asked to wear makeup that was supposed to make them look like a different ethnicity. Now, blackface has been a problem for a long time. We've talked about cultural appropriation. These are topics that are well known, or at least I would assume that, people know of them, at least those who are creating TV, who are in the industry, who are generally in the progressive, population. A lot of gay people, fashion people, queer people who know what's right and wrong, not to go and make a white girl look like a black woman. In Cycle 13, which premiered in 2009, the models were asked to pose in a biracial photo shoot in which they wore makeup and costumes that were supposed to indicate two different ethnicities. Multiple contestants wore thick makeup that darkened their skin tone, which is straight up blackface, something that is really looked down upon. So I can't believe
Yeah, I'm curious when that episode was filmed because they said it went from 2000, what, 2004 to 2018. Now, if she did this in 2018, really, I cannot defend you. But in 2004, they had different standards, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. People just thought about everything differently. They didn't, their moral compass was not where it needed to be.
Tyra Banks, a black woman, saw this and just was okay with it.
The race is on. Be ready to show your true colors at 7 o'clock in the morning.
So as you guys can see, there are several models and their photos displayed next to them, and clearly they are not in their regular attire. They are acting like they are someone they're not supposed to be. This, in my opinion, goes beyond modeling, and it's incredibly inappropriate. I mean, there are so many people on this set. How did anyone just allow this to go on? Especially when your name, your reputation, your career is associated with this moment and this production.
I am curious though, because she always said that this was based off industry, like things that you will experience in the modeling world. Did she have to do some type of photo shoot like this before? Like, is this where she got the idea from, or is this just all her? This pure Tyra?
I just wouldn't want to be tied back to it, and that's why Tyra Banks has never really been able to escape this. The photo shoot's creative director is Jay Manuel, and he actually addressed the backlash, saying, many times when you're working in an environment like that, you have to listen to your executive producers. Ultimately, the two voices at the top were Ken and Tyra Banks. So ooh, he's throwing it back on Tyra Banks.
Ken?
Wow. I was so uncomfortable with this. I was basically told I had to execute this creative, and it made me very uncomfortable. And I'm not surprised that, like, or I wouldn't be surprised if these people all were fully aware how wrong it was, but they knew it would stir up some good TV. And, you know, the competition, while it was a competition
Good
for
point.
modeling, it was really primarily a reality show. So they want to make good TV at the end of the day, and they thought this would be it.
The whole race swapping shoot, you know, I was very uncomfortable. My parents grew up in South Africa. They're from South Africa. So you've got to understand the kind of the family I grew up in. I'm biracial. It just was very uncomfortable. So I did go to my co-executive producer at the time because it was kind of understood. Like I knew certain things at that point I couldn't even go to Tyra with. And they basically said I had to do that shoot.
So Jay has had to respond to this moment, and Tyra has taken time to respond as well. Now, I don't know if she meant this because she had deleted this tweet in May 2020. She tweeted, "Been seeing these posts about the insensitivity of some past America's Next Top Model moments, and I agree with you. Looking back, those were some really off choices. Appreciate your honest feedback, and I'm sending so much love and virtual hugs." Okay, well, we're getting your honest feedback. It's a little bit too late. Actually, do I even see a sorry?
I also want to know, was she getting like hate mail, or like was anyone like writing in saying that they didn't agree with this like after it aired? Well, they didn't say nothing. Like, people are up in arms now, but like, I remember watching this show and I was just like, oh shit. I never was like, dang, we gotta get this off the TV. Mind you, I was a child, but still.
Even see a sorry here. There's no like, I'm sorry. It's just like sending love and virtual hugs. XOXO. In season 3, there was a contestant who was criticized several times for embracing her African heritage. A white guest judge voted to eliminate her, saying, "You have this intensity to prove your sort of Africanness, and it's not attractive." So this person felt off put by someone else's culture and decided they need to be eliminated because their culture was just too abrasive for them to feel comfortable.
Just because we had to talk about, Afrocentricity before, and it's kind of misunderstood. I'm all about, like, expressing yourself and your culture, but it's still done in a fashion way. You want your outfit to be, look at me, and this outfit is, look over there.
One of the biggest parts of this series.
Oh, I hate justifying certain things, but like, when you go to like a go-see, when you're like trying out, they want you to dress a certain way. Like, there's certain things that, like, your hair slicked back, very neutral clothing. So yeah, it's fucked up. She got eliminated. But if they're telling her certain things she should probably change for the show, do it for the show. You don't gotta do that shit in real life if you don't want to.
In the show is the makeover episode, which I would be lying if I said it wasn't my favorite, because we all love
It's
to
my
see
favorite
the
too.
makeovers and what they can do, but sometimes they pushed it way too far. Again, not to make this woman.
I'm such a hater, bro. Well, not even a hater. I'm just an asshole. I used to be so excited when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna shave her head." It's like, yes, do it.
A better model to make them more attractive, but to create good TV. When it came to black models and the makeovers, Tyra always made them change their hair texture or cut off their natural hair. This sent a message that black hair wasn't beautiful, nor was it deemed acceptable in the model world, which I think that's totally valid. I would say that I think they always want to change everyone a lot. But then again, there were people who had beautiful natural hair. There are some weaves that were put in just completely incorrectly. So it does seem like Tyra was
Yeah, they
kind of
didn't.
going at the black contestants, making it more difficult for them or making them feel like they weren't okay as they were already.
Yeah, I also think a lot of people, at least in the older seasons, they probably didn't know how to work on black hair. I feel like in general there was like a natural hair kind of movement maybe in, I think it was when I was in high school, so like probably 2014, like 2016. Like that's when people was pushing natural hair. But before that, it was get a perm, get your hair relaxed, straighten it. So they probably didn't have people that really knew how to work on natural hair. So when people came in, they was like, "We're gonna cut it off." And mind you, Tyra's in charge of it, so like, yeah, she probably could have found some people that knew how to work on natural hair. But I don't know if Tyra was like the 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 what is it called? Like the end all be all.
I never cut my hair drastically all my life. Just a shot. I was supposed to build my confidence. I just came out the bottom, so now I don't got no hair.
In hindsight, I can look at these episodes and tell that they were on a budget. They weren't out here using the best hairstylists, the most, experienced people. And I'm not talking bad about the stylists, like whatever, but they didn't know what they were doing, especially to
Yeah.
black women or people who had dyed hair, processed hair. They would be ordered to do these things.
See, that's a good point too. If they was on a budget, I know they couldn't afford people that knew how to do natural hair. They was probably getting just some basic quick cuts.
That they are not trained in, and they would execute them terribly. And now the model has to live with it.
People did not have the correct clippers. Everybody basically sat and they didn't know what to do.
Should we leave a little tough?
I didn't even like the way the woman was cutting my hair and the way they were having a conversation in front of me.
Should we write her name in it?
Yeah.
It is uneven.
Yeah.
You messed up shaving her head that fast.
It is very upsetting to an African-American woman to go into a salon and the person to do her hair incorrectly. It is very inappropriate. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, I'm so frustrated watching that moment. Like when she said, "Oh, should we write her name in her head?" Like if you've never seen
that
a
was
microaggression
nasty.
before, there you go. Another black contestant revealed that Tyra would have to send black models to certified hairdressers off camera to fix the incorrectly and unprofessionally done hairstyles. So Tyra would take it on.
Why didn't they just send them to the correct person to begin with? See, Tyra, I can't justify it no more. If you were fucking their hair up on purpose just for TV when you knew who to actually go to, that's messed up.
Herself to go and fix these problems, knowingly putting these girls into this scene where these people were to mess up their hair, and then maybe having a little bit of empathy for them, realizing that their hair was so messed up that she was like, you know what, I'll go get someone to help you. But it's too late, and you've already embarrassed them on camera. A contestant named Tiffany revealed.
So maybe she thought the person was capable, and then she realized they weren't, so she went and sought someone else out. Like maybe that's what happened.
That she was labeled the uneducated ghetto girl because of her accent and look, which again, that terminology, I don't even like saying that, but that's what they tried to play her off as. And it does again go back to the reality TV of it all, where they're trying to fill these characters and they're trying to paint this woman out to someone who they want to be portrayed as on TV. It's all fake.
But without the ghetto face. There are many indications of Southern in your speech. It's going to be a big handicap.
The other girls speak a little
Without the ghetto face? Boy, oh my God. I can't imagine someone saying that to me.
more clearly than I do, and I know it, so it's gonna take time. Put it like this, I don't talk like nobody here.
That's fine. You ain't got to talk back to nobody there.
The same, everybody always talk about the ghetto like that's something bad. Like only bad people come from the ghetto. There are intelligent people in the ghetto. My mom's intelligent. My grandma's very intelligent. I'm ghetto because probably I chose to be ghetto, and that's who I am.
A lot of people's interpretation of being ghetto is something that's not
Everybody.
So that's why I don't talk like the other girls who live in Compton. Like,
I just felt so upset at myself that I've been trying to change all these different things about me, and I'm unhappy.
Poor Tiffany having to go and defend herself, not only for who she is, but for her right to be there. I mean,
And if she has an accent, you can't just turn that on and off, especially if you've been speaking that way your whole life. And then a lot of times when you have an accent, you yourself do not hear it. So it's not like she'd have to go to a speech therapist to get rid of her accent. An accent that I think is fine. I mean, I clearly understand her. Honestly, we might talk very similar.
People have British accents, they have Asian accents, all these different kind of accents. So to have a Southern accent, to have whatever she would describe as like a ghetto accent, which I don't even think that's like, again, that's like just not an appropriate. That's not appropriate because it's like characterizing. Like ghetto's been used in a negative sense, so to call it that, it just makes I actually have like goosebumps. It makes me super uncomfortable because to me it's just so demeaning, and you can watch it and like live TV, and I just think about like those little kids who like saw that and felt like they relate to her and that they don't belong here, and that's why it's just important to like honestly put respect on that girl's name, that model's name, Tiff.
Now, I kind of well, I mean, I guess it's not good, but I liked seeing people like stand up for themselves though, because I guess some people would see it how he is, like, oh, I should feel bad that I talk this way, like I talk the same as her. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, she's standing up for herself. I'm gonna stand up for myself too. Like we're both the same. If someone talks shit about my accent, oh baby, we it's gonna go up. But there was another season where it was a white girl and she had a very thick country accent, and they were doing the same thing to her. So I don't know. Like I do think it's racist because why was her accent labeled country and the black girl's accent is labeled ghetto when it's the same motherfucking accent? Um, but they were trying to get her to change her accent too. So,
Tiffany, because she really like advocated for herself when no one was. In this series, black women were consistently
you have
criticized
to
for their
advocate for
skin
yourself.
because America's Next Top Model did not have
Very
makeup artists
important.
that catered to their skin type and tone. So a lot of the black models would be clocked for having bad skin or for their makeup looking bad, when these people were the ones responsible for hiring them to make them look good. So
Facts. There's an episode. I think the lady, she not even that much older than everybody else. She probably like a year older or something. But she was black and they took a picture and like, "Oh, you have to work on your skin like you have really textured skin." I'm like, "Well, who did her makeup? Who did her makeup to make it look like she has textured skin?"
it really just set them up for failure.
And with your skin texture, being an African American woman, it should be like butter. At the retouching session, your photo was the hardest that we had to do.
I love the color of her skin, I really do, but up close she just looked so old.
Un petit bouton. Do you have a little skin problem? Just a little?
It's a menstrual breakout.
You have to work on that skin. You drink more water. Water, water, water.
You can get there, but it's gonna take some work. You're unretouched shot. It's like a Hitchcock film.
Go back and forth really fast to see what I mean.
What the fuck? Those look the same.
What are you feeling right
Hold
Take some
on,
work.
hold
You're
on.
unretouched shot. It's like a Hitchcock film.
Go back and forth really fast to see what I mean.
What are you feeling right now, Kelly? You look a little.
I don't see no difference.
Like this. The people that usually see my skin tell me that I have beautiful skin.
It is shocking. It's also shocking that the edit doesn't look that different. I mean, I'll put it back up on the
It
screen.
doesn't.
You guys can see she doesn't look that different between
They
the two.
just changed
So
the
that
shadows.
reaction from Janice Dickinson was really unwavered, and it kind of reminds me of
Well-
my reaction to watching Janice perform in West Hollywood. I saw her perform her song she released like 2 years ago, and I think I posted. And she actually looked at it on Instagram. I posted that it was the worst performance I ever see in my life. It was terrible. It looked like she could barely even walk. And she's older, so whatever. But like, don't go and perform a pop song if you're not gonna sing. You can barely move, and you're gonna go out here criticizing everyone else. Well, girl, Janice, you're barely holding it together on stage. But it wasn't just black women receiving all the heat. Asian women did as well. There was one model who felt like she was the underdog because of her ethnicity, which put a lot of mental pressure on her. Which I can't imagine. I mean, this feeling of not belonging and kind of just being like kicked out of the group because of something you cannot change, it's really debilitating.
Well, come on, what percentage of magazine covers do you see an Asian on? It's rougher being an Asian than a black woman. Tyra has told me right up front.
The fashion industry is all about race.
Really?
So you see Asian girls on the covers of magazines, and I'm not talking about Lucy Liu. She's an actress. So if you entering this fashion world, you would be the underdog. This industry only allows for one person of color in that certain category at a time.
I think a lot of this is just reflecting like what real life is and was at that time. The real world is racist. Not just on this show, but in real life.
time. So like April, if you make it, you know, you are the top Asian girl at the moment. I understand that, yes, my look is much more dominantly Asian than white. Therefore, I must market myself that way.
It's just so disappointing, and there are so many other disappointing moments as well, which takes us to our next segment. While I think a lot of them were racially insensitive, there were a lot of shoots in general that were just insensitive and offensive. Something that if I was a model, I wouldn't want to be placed in this kind of scenery and have my photo taken like that.
Tone deaf moments.
Now, a model named Kaylin was forced into a challenge photo shoot that really triggered her because she just learned that her friend had passed away of an overdose, and they had to go and all model at a cemetery and act like they were in a grave, which her friend just died.
Okay,
and now
God
she's having to
damn.
portray someone who's like in the ground, like dead. It's kind of morbid. I also have a feeling that producers kind of knew this
Did
and
the
maybe set her up, but that's my own
Oh.
conspiracy. Kaylin struggled to get through the photo shoot and was even criticized.
When did her friend pass? Like right before she got on the show, or like while she was there, then they found out. And then like they went to the shoot that day. Because they went to the shoot that day, I think the producer should have been like, all right, girl, you can sit this one out. But they did have it planned and everything scheduled, so they got to go through with it. But if she told them that, and then they're like, oh, add that to the schedule. Add this to the schedule, the list of things we're going to do. And they were like, gotcha.
For allowing her emotions to overwhelm her to the point where she couldn't get a good shot. Now, some viewers have since called the photo shoot offensive and said it glamorizes violence against women.
Oh, that's where we're going. I'm sitting next to Kim, and she immediately just folds over and starts bawling.
Aw.
Kaylin is not having too much fun.
So Kaylin is already triggered, already just going through the emotions. And of course, Jay Manuel was not supportive at all, telling her not to allow her emotions to bother her, telling her that, you know, it's a difficult thing, but you've got to push through. Trying to kind of get that
It's
TV
difficult.
moment, build this scene, and evoke that emotion.
It's really messed up. I mean, I know nobody knows the circumstances, but I just don't want to be here.
Today, you
Oh,
girls
she didn't tell anyone?
are going to have to portray one of these deadly sins at the bottom of this 8.
Okay, you can't really get mad at the producers then if she didn't express what was going on. Because you can't just read her mind.
Book grave. Do you guys know what's wrong with Kaylin?
She had a friend that just died from high school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you need a minute, like, to start hair and makeup?
I can't imagine being Kaylin. I mean, I would be offended. I would be upset. And it just kind of shows again that this was like a moment for television. They planned it for TV. If it wasn't, they wouldn't have included so much of that breakdown. It would have been more of the photo shoot and the skill going into it. But no, it's about
That's a good
this
point.
because they want to push them to their limits. Let's talk about another offensive photo shoot concept, which included model stereotypes. The contestants are assigned model stereotypes to portray in their photos. These stereotypes include, trigger warning, anorexic model, dumb blonde model, black model in the industry trying to turn white, bulimic model, drug addict model, and other offensive labels that we don't want associated with the modeling industry. So why are we like putting this on the biggest?
No, almost. I don't know if people understand that she was doing that because that's what's going on. Like, this is how they're stereotyping people. And they're trying to show that it's wrong. Not, oh, this is what they're doing. We're going to keep doing it. I think a little comprehension skills are lacking for some
This
people.
modeling reality show, kind of like pushing it into everyone's faces. Now, this isn't really LGBT.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the point is to show what's going on. What's going on in the actual modeling world. That's how they're acting. It's like, oh, we're going to show everyone. We're going to expose.
Friendly because in cycle 5, Tyra Banks implied that gay contestant Kim should tone down her sexuality. Kim says, I'm gay and I'm really proud of it. She's a lesbian. And Tyra said, I think there's a certain thing of being proud. Like, I'm black and proud, and you know what I mean, but I'm not walking down the red carpet saying, I'm black. Which I guess Tyra kind of has a point there. You don't need to shove it down anyone's throats. Kim replied saying, no, I certainly won't walk down the red carpet and try to kiss girls on the way. That's not what I'm going to do. Jay replied and said, later criticized the incident, saying he felt uncomfortable about Tyra's remarks. One moment I will never forget about when it comes to America's Next Top Model history is when they made Cycle 6 winner Danielle Evans close the gap in her front teeth. 8 cycles later, there was a white contestant who was encouraged to widen her gap. So there's this discrepancy whether like who can have a gap and who can't.
Well, Danielle, you went to the dentist, but you refused
Whoa.
to have your gap closed. Do you really think you can have a CoverGirl contract with a gap in your mouth?
Yes, why not?
This is all people see. It's easy to reach beautiful CoverGirl. It's not marketable.
Yeah, just a little bit is okay, but I don't want to completely close it.
Well, I guess she just left the gap wide open for another girl, baby.
I agree.
I am someone who naturally has a gap between my teeth. I've had it since filled, but I think there's something beautiful about having a gap, especially like that model. She's stunning. She doesn't need to change anything, but it's wild how dismissive the judges were to how she felt about her own appearance and her own teeth. Actually, Danielle put a statement out in 2020 when Tyra was addressing everything and said, I want to address all of those young girls. I want to take this time to build up and speak to all of my young queens who saw that episode and were truly affected by Tyra's words. It doesn't matter if you have a gap, stacked teeth, straight teeth, it does not matter. It doesn't matter if you're black, brown, white, indifferent, other. What makes you beautiful is in here. When it came to that white contestant who had her gap widen, some viewers said encouraging Kelsey to widen her tooth gap was hypocritical and had racist undertones considering their past conversations with Danielle about her teeth.
That's
One person
fucked up.
commented, quote, it's definitely not coincidental that the fashion industry seems to love gap teeth on a white girl, but then find them ratchet on a black girl. Now, Isis King was the first person who identified as transgender to appear on America's Next Top Model, and it definitely wasn't easy for Isis. During the first episode, multiple contestants made disparaging
I've seen her in
and
something
transphobic
else.
comments about Isis. When a few contestants made comments about the size of
The
Isis' breasts,
contestants?
they even called her over to address the rumors that had come up in conversation, asking if she was all female, which Isis replied saying, no, I was not physically born a female, which is just kind of awkward for her to have to go through.
Asked her that? That's so intrusive. I might have to go watch Top Model. I don't remember all of this.
Especially back at this time, it was still something that's not as normalized.
Are you all female?
Physically without one female, no.
Ain't this supposed to be a girl competition? How did you get through the door?
She said that she used to be a man. Like, you're lying. So she totally confirmed it.
Reality is she's a man.
Ooh, imagine something like that airing nowadays. Some contestants did stand up to defend Isis's right to be there. Not everyone was nice though. One person said, if I have to get along with Isis, I will. But then again, if it comes between me and my goal, I will stomp that man right out of the competition. Jeez, these people, really? You want to say this on TV? Do you think this makes you look cute or likable? Isis is a transgender woman and she was able
Fucked up all around. I need to know what year this was though. It had to be the early 2000s. Because I just can't imagine someone saying that on TV nowadays. Especially in like 2018. Hell nah.
to pave a path for a lot of other people to join the show.
I think it's good she
and
went on
for
that
the
show, though.
competition to become more progressive. Although the atmosphere at America's Next Top Model has already been established as
And people hate Tyra. But I think it's good that she casted her. Because then other people can see her. Other people can see her and normalize it and be like, oh, there's women out here like this.
as toxic. I want to talk a little bit about Kenya. Kenya Hill found herself being victim blamed by judges, crew members, and fellow contestants in Cycle 5 after standing up against a male model who she says touched her without her consent. So you would think that all the girls would like rally behind this contestant, but it seemed like everyone was dismissive of her. Throughout the episode, a male model can be seen pushing Kenya's boundaries, even asking her for a massage during hair and makeup. Throughout the photo shoot, the male model is moaning and touching Kenya inappropriately, making her visibly uncomfortable. After Kenya asked to stop the shoot, the director and his team invalidated her feelings, telling her to go with the flow. She said, quote, "I feel like a lot of pressure added on to me because I can end up being eliminated for not doing well on this shoot because of his actions." A fellow contestant named Namia called it unfair of Kenya to be blaming someone outside of herself for her shoot going wrong. Judge Niall Barker agreed, criticizing the quality of the photos and telling Kenya to handle it better in the future. which I think that is like insane. I mean, major
Who
red
handled
flags.
that
This
better?
model is pushing his limits with this girl, and you're not listening to anything she has to say. Another model who had a terrible experience on the show
Lord.
was Lauren London Levi. She goes by London, and she appeared on Cycle 12. It was London's weight gain that garnered most of the attention from the judges, despite recovering from an eating disorder. Actually, the 18-year-old was criticized for gaining weight while on the show and staying in the house. Creative director Jay Manuel called her weight gain a shocking development, and unsurprisingly, London was eliminated that same episode. At the time, she told E! News, "When
I need to know what she looked like for her weight gain because here up, she looks skinny as hell. Like it looked like you can see her collarbone, like this bone. That don't make no sense.
I went to the competition, I was recovering from an ED, so my self-confidence was already kind of shaky because of my experience and my problem beforehand, and I'm pretty sure it did show in my photo shoots." London hasn't been seen in the public eye since 2009.
Oh my God. Another thing, what if like she was just recovering when she tried out? So she was like an unhealthy weight. So then when she got on there, she started eating normal and then she got to her normal weight. Oh my God. Oh, it's terrible.
And hopefully she's went on to live a peaceful life. Now, in one cycle, there was a really inappropriate photo shoot involving a model named Kayla. Now, Kayla expressed her feelings when it came to making out with others. She was essayed when she was young, so she was traumatized, but she was still forced into this photo shoot despite having this past trauma and not wanting to get physical with
I had to
someone.
make
They
out with
wanted to
people?
push her again to get that good TV.
I wasn't totally thrilled that we'd be joining in a kiss. I instantly was not happy at all. I just can't get this whole kiss thing out of my head. It was deeper to me than just being gay. I feel
They couldn't fake it?
personally uncomfortable with intimacy with men.
Now, this is something I am fully aware that the show knew was going to happen and that she was uncomfortable with guys, that she is a lesbian, and honestly, her making out with a man isn't like required for her to display her modeling skills. I mean, I feel like a kissing picture is just like not really like editorial. It's not really.
It's not. And if you want a more sexy picture, the guy can be in the photo shoot. She can just look sexy. Just have a good pose. Like you don't have to be making out to be ugh. Ugh, that sounds gross. I don't want to make out with nobody.
High fashion to be making out with someone. I mean,
I know,
posing
fucking
with someone
stranger.
is different than like having to go and get intimate.
You're cool with this, though.
Yeah.
You're not cool with it. Why does it bother you?
When I was 11, I was assaulted.
And this whole challenge freaks me out. I don't want to kiss them. I don't want to interact with them. They scare me, and I really don't want to do it.
It's like if you're saying to me right now, you'll throw away jobs if you've got to kiss a guy, I mean, you can't go through the rest of your life with this. You really can't. You have to deal with this.
To me, it's really sad that she has to go and open up and share all of these things that she had gone through to the public when she's not ready. She's kind of in this situation where she feels really pressured, and her only escape is to tell how she feels, to reveal this side of her. Earlier in this episode,
And then telling it didn't even help her. Like, why did he ask, are you okay with this? If you didn't care if she was okay with it or not.
we touched on the makeovers, but I want to talk about how some of these makeovers are traumatizing, especially when they're done so incorrectly. It's no secret that many of the America's Next Top Model contestants had to undergo extensive and sometimes painful makeovers at the start of their seasons. One model suffered through one of the worst makeover mishaps in top model history when she was given a weave over 8 hours and then had it removed because it was so incredibly painful. She was on cycle 8,
Glad
which
they
premiered in
removed it.
2007,
Goodness.
and she was given a brown weave. After having the weave installed, it took 8 hours and it was extremely painful. She was told that they would be taking it all out and they would be cutting her hair short. She said, "As my hair is being cut off, I just feel kind of traumatized," in a scene from the show. At the end of her hair install,
A weave should not take 8 hours. A weave should not take 8 hours. Braiding the hair, 1 hour max. Installing the hair, 1 hour max. Styling it, 30 minutes. What are they doing? What are they doing? And 8 hours for a weave? They had some crazy people. Yeah, they ain't had no professionals for real.
Let her know that they were wrong about her new look. Instead of working with her favor, the weave was making her look plain and boring, so they made her take it out. So after 8 hours of having this thing in your head and like having it all pull on your hair and braided, you have to get it all taken out again. And it almost feels like it's her fault in that moment. I mean, I would be so livid.
It takes about 8 hours to complete my new fabulous do, and it hurts like hell.
Not taking you to that elevated look.
There's also a reason white people do not braid their hair certain ways, or should not braid their hair certain ways. Your hair is not thick enough to withstand the tension of those braids. Your hair will fall out. So her describing pain, she was probably telling the truth. Her hair was thin. It was not equipped to be braided like that.
That the other girls are going to, like they're all starting to turn into kind of models, it's kind of bringing you down a little. We're gonna take the whole thing out. Kashawn is gonna do a really short, kind of very Rosemary's Baby cut.
Oh man, as my hair's being cut off, I just feel kind of traumatized.
You have to work extra hard now that you don't have any hair on your head.
Now, hair is a sensitive topic, especially when it comes to these models and how they look.
They wear
Because it's part
extra
of their
hard 'cause
brand
he
and how they
bald.
identify. So when some have to come onto the show and have maybe like medical issues, it puts a lot of pressure on them. Like this one contestant who had alopecia, and the judges weren't too kind about it. There are so many instances where contestants express their concerns about their makeovers, and then they are guilted by the judges to give in. Like I said earlier, I think that these makeovers were all for shock value, to get good TV, opposed to making the models feel better or more confident.
Melrose really is just a control freak. A lot of young girls that try to over control the situation, they don't go too far away.
I will say some people were dramatic on that show. Sometimes they would come in a brunette. They would leave with just light highlights in their hair and they'd be crying. I'm like, baby, they barely did anything. Why are we crying?
I can't, dude, I can't.
Just put your head down, please.
I can't do this.
The real lesson here is you gotta trust the people you work with. We're not making decisions for shock value.
We're not making decisions for shock value. Please, that's an absolute lie.
It's just extremely different. Because like such a shock, it was just kind of like too much. I don't feel attractive at all. It is a major change. It is.
But you look beautiful.
I just gotta go.
I feel like my makeover is very masculine, and we're posing nude today, and looking like a boy kind of bothers me. You know, it's a little hard to look at myself.
I mean, okay, so just to play devil's advocate, not that I really want to, but like when you are a model, you do have to do different looks. You have to look a certain way. I mean, I think changing your day-to-day look is something different, but I also think that there has to be some acknowledgement that you have to have some ability to transform yourself to fit whatever the client is looking for.
I understand what he's saying. However, if you cut someone's hair that short, they can't really style that. Like if their hair is that short, when you go on set, they just gonna keep it how it is because they can't do nothing with it. That's why a lot of these black women, they either had like a big like natural fro, because you could style that a bunch of ways, or they had a weave, because when you go on site, they know how to flat iron. They can flat iron. They like all they want. But you just go in with a shortcut. They don't know to use the little sponge brush. They don't know to. They probably don't even have that in their toolkit, bro. So you just going in. You gotta make it do what it do.
Love my hair.
It'll always grow back.
Bye-bye. It's okay, you're ready.
How short did they cut it?
Do you know what? You're gonna look so great. You don't even know.
This is really big. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you get the haircut that I wanted you to have.
So you're not ready to cut your hair?
No.
You know, I really don't have time for this today, so you just gotta leave my set.
I mean, the back and forth is just so It's so
No.
amateur. I mean, if these people really don't want to cut their hair, then let them take the photos. And if their photos aren't well, then go ahead and do it. But it just seems like it's a storyline they're pushing. Now, in some cases, the hairdressers who were hired were so unprofessional and lacked the experience that they would end up hurting the contestants' hair or damaging them. I mean, their scalps would be raw, the weaves would be wrong, the hair color is disturbing. It seems like they would go and find a salon who would be doing it for free to get some like free promo. So it's not like top
That
experts.
is probably
like,
what they were
Tara
doing.
Banks isn't allowing these people to touch her head.
My head hurts so bad.
I can't imagine getting something sewed into my head and having it pulled so hard. I know like a lot of like black women, a lot of people like do hair things all the time, but when you're experienced with it, when you're anticipating it, that's different. When you've got people who don't know what they're doing, sewing it and pulling into your hair, like I would have
Key thing, they don't know what they're doing. A weave should not take 8 hours. I don't care what the fuck you're doing to that head. It should not take 8 hours.
such a pounding headache. And the people who were tasked with these jobs didn't know what they were doing. That's why I feel like they just just got a salon that would do it for free, because there were people having their hair
I got
slipped off, and
'em.
it was all kinds of messy.
My hair is disgusting. My whole head hurts. My ass hurts. I sat in a chair for 6 hours.
Just to let you know, weaves do that. Like they create rashes, little bumps, especially on the tight areas.
That only happens when you're braiding it too hard. Oh my god. Braiding it too tight. Like, it's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to happen.
It's part of that beauty pain thing. But we're gonna suck it up, right?
No.
Physically removed.
Again, I can't imagine going through that pain. I would be chopping it off. But there was a lot of painful things that these girls were exposed to. I mean, the conditions of some of these shoots were really questionable. So let's talk a little bit about that. There was one photo shoot in cycle 7 which featured a model posing in extremely cold water, actually leading to one of the models, Carity English, developing hypothermia. In cycle 8, there was a gruesome photo shoot where models posed as murder victims in a mock crime scene. In another photo shoot, contestants had to pose as dead bodies in a filthy bathroom setting. And then finally, in cycle 18, contestants were made to pose on a 1,000-foot tower during a storm in a foreign country. Towards the end of the series in cycle 2022,
I think they were harnessed,
contestants had to shoot in pitch black conditions, which was particularly challenging and potentially unsafe, especially for one of the contestants who were deaf that season. So he's like dependent on his sight and other senses to make up for his hearing loss. So definitely not safe. There have been other photo shoots where they posed.
Oh, wait a second now. They did that one on purpose. Some of these I can justify, but that one, you knew you had a deaf contestant and you made the challenge where he couldn't see. What senses is he going to rely on? Touch? My God. My goodness.
With a bull, or a high heels walk challenge that left a girl with crutches. There was a treadmill runway. There was a time where they posed in a landfill. They encouraged these situations and these models to partake in scenes that would literally never happen in the modeling world. Like, what photo shoot? Where do we see, what's her name? The Hadids, like the Bella Hadid, the Gigi. Where do we see the Hadid sisters doing anything similar to this? Or a Kardashian? They don't. It's reality.
Oh yeah, it is reality. But back in the day, like you would see, like at least like the high heel one, like ridiculously high heels. There's who is it? I want to say it's Naomi Campbell, but like she's wearing like something crazy, like super high heels, and she like sort of trips, but then she like tiptoes afterwards. Like it's extreme.
TV, and it sucks and it's dangerous. I mean, imagine the 1,000-foot tower with the storm and you're so close to wind. I don't know. I feel
the storm one that kind of reminded me of Fear Factor, and I guess it's different because you're signing up for 2 different shows. Like if you're signing up for Fear Factor, you know you're going to be doing stuff like that. For Top Model, you probably don't expect that. But they were wearing harnesses. They were safe. There were precautions. I don't know.
I think I would pass out during it.
As I stepped on it with one foot, I like slid.
And because their goal was good television, they purposely made these conditions unsafe. For example, one contestant came forward and said, "The runway that we did on the water was purposely made wobbly. No runway is ever made that way. Runways are meant to be solid. But they put us in these pin-thin skirts that didn't even have slits, so we had to walk up this crooked runway. They made the show for TV." Some people have made some memes over these moments. For example, they compared it to Squid Game, saying Tyra Banks would have made this runway challenge on America's Next Top Model, talking about a scene from the show. Which takes us to the contestant mistreatment, because a lot of these people who participated, they were treated so terribly, not only by Tyra, but by production.
Contestant mistreatment.
Tyra Banks was called out for paying America's Next Top Model contestants as little as $40 a day. According to former contestants that participated on the show, they were paid
$40 a
very
day?
little. Sarah from Cycle 9 said they were given $40
Why did they
a
agree
day,
to that?
which was per diem to cover their daily expenses. I guess if you're considering going to like McDonald's in the morning.
Wait, is it $40 to cover like food? Or are they saying like to be on the show, quit your job, you get $40 a day? Because that's crazy. I need to know which one it is. Like, was that their pay or was that just like a food allowance?
Lunch and like I don't even know how $40. I guess that would be $40, but it would have to be a very like a low budget meal. The contestants had to pay for their own food out of this $40 day allowance. They did not receive any residuals or additional compensation beyond their per diem. Lisa D'Amato, who is someone we've actually interviewed on this channel, if you guys love this episode, go and check out my episode with Lisa. She actually participated and she exposed Tyra in that episode. She shared that they actually received $45 a day, but there's, you know, a few discrepancies. The low pay for contestants stood in stark contrast to Tyra's salary, which was about $30 million a year. Lisa has been quoted saying that they don't
Okay. That's a weird comparison because obviously you would not be getting Tyra's salary. However, they should be in a couple thousand per episode. Like $40 a day sounds crazy.
feed you enough. We had a small per diem, but so many girls sent their money home. The per diem was also used for toiletries, tampons, whatever you could need while you're away. So if you came and you didn't have a lot of money to begin with, you're not off to a good start. One contestant was asked, "What's one experience from the show you remember the most?" They replied, "Elimination. We probably stood there sometimes for 8 to 9 hours until 3:30 in the morning during deliberation. If they had a production issue or if something happened, we just stood and stood while being hungry all the time.
Standing
all we wanted was
for
food.
9
I remember
hours?
walking in there and just shaking like a leaf. I wanted to win the show because I was poor and wanted to help my family. So it was like a lottery to me."
People don't see on TV is that, like, I mean, it's insane. Like, the amount of bullshit that me and the other girls went through. There are times when we didn't get fed. We had to film straight through 15, 18 hours without eating. So we're starving. So then that plays on your mental attitude because it's almost like they want us to go in there angry so they can have drama. So, okay, let's starve them. Let's withhold food. Let's withhold water because you know how you get when you're hungry.
That's kind of a reality show well-known secret. You give them lack of food, you give them extra booze, and then you get extra drama. But Tyra Banks is the face of this show, and she has to answer for some of the things that she's done. Let's talk about this viral moment that continues to live on, where Tyra was pushed over the
rooting
edge.
for you.
She yelled
We
at
were
Tiffany
all
and went
rooting
off
for
on
you.
her. It was incredibly unprofessional, but one of the biggest moments to come out from this series.
Be quiet, Tiffany. Be quiet. What is wrong with you? Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. When you go to bed at night, you lay there and you take responsibility for yourself because nobody's going to take responsibility for you.
In my perspective, I do think that Tyra is partially acting here. I mean, she doesn't have this tight connection with the contestants like you would think. You rarely see her unless the cameras are present. So she's not friendly with them. She doesn't necessarily care about them on a human level. Maybe
You can say that. Like, you don't, just because she's not there all the time, you can't say she wasn't emotionally connected. Like, maybe that was her favorite. Sometimes you just have favorites. Like, you can't do nothing about that. You just like this person's personality more. I can't remember why she said that though. Like I wish he showed more context because I don't think Tyra was just yelling to yell. Like she ain't really yelling at nobody else. So I'm just like, what did this girl do? What what made what did she do to make these niggas so mad? I need explanation. I'm a dang. I'm gonna probably look it up. Hold on. How much? I need context. Hold on. We gonna come back. YouTube. Why did Tyra yell at that girl? Tyra yelling at Tiffany. Was that her name? Did they show? Okay, they showed the whole clip. Oh dang! I hope they don't get fucked up.
I'm back. I'm Tiffany. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I'm 21 years
I
old.
don't need the whole
Last time
thing.
I
I just
came here,
need
I
when she
tried
was
out
yelling.
Loving
Okay.
yourself. This is a really difficult decision tonight. It put me in a very difficult place tonight.
Cheer up, waterheads. Looking all sad. Come on.
Okay, so she said, "Cheer up," but y'all looking all sad for.
Come on. Oh, girl, you gotta stop.
She told them to stop crying. Don't cry for me.
Can you guys stand in front of me? I just want to say one more thing too. Tiffany, I'm extremely disappointed in you. This is a joke to you. You've been through anger management. You've been through your grandmother getting her lights turned off to buy you a swimsuit for this competition. And you go over there and you joke.
She putting her business out like that. Oh my God. She telling everybody all her business. And what you mean she been through anger management? She shouldn't behave like this. That might be what anger management has taught her. She didn't flip out on you. She went over there and tried to laugh it off. Sometimes that's just a response. Lord.
Joke and you laugh. This is serious to these girls. And this should be serious to you.
Looks can be deceiving. I'm hurt. I am. But I can't change it, Tyra. I've been.
Yes, you can.
She can't change shit. What this white lady saying? She She can't change nothing. She just got eliminated. It's not like she can be like, guys, please, I want to stay. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna let her stay. She can't change it. She's gonna be like, all right, let me go out with a good attitude. Let me not be an asshole. Let's be
You
positive.
can't change what?
I'm sick of crying about stuff that I cannot change. I'm sick of being disappointed. I'm sick of all of it. I'm not.
You're not sick of being disappointed,
Yes,
Tiffany.
obviously I am.
No, you're not. If you were sick of being disappointed, you would stand up and you would take control of your destiny. Do you know that you had a possibility to win? Do you know that all of America is rooting for you? Do you know that?
Oh my God. Yeah, Tyra, I can't. Tyra, what was you doing, girl? That's like when people are at funerals and they laugh. They care about the person. Some people just don't handle certain emotions. Like they don't want to cry, so they start laughing. She didn't want to cry. She didn't want to be angry, so she laughed. My God.
Maybe as a contestant
Tyra.
or as a star on their show, but I really think that Tyra kind of maybe she has something else going on in her life, but she really pulled out that emotion to get that moment that we all know so well.
Tyra
Tiffany
is an
explained
actor.
that Tyra's rant was 1,000 times worse than what viewers saw. Tyra said, "You can go back to your house and sleep on your mattress on the floor with your baby." And Tyra's saying,
Oh my God. I told you she was telling all her business. My
this in front of
God.
everyone, just embarrassing Tiffany. However, Tiffany recognizes that this moment made for good TV, even if it was at her expense. Which is kind of sad that she's like accepting that. Like, oh, I guess it's good TV. Just like, use me as the laughing
I mean,
stock.
nothing else
Make
she
fun of
can
me and my
do.
baby in our living situation. Jeez. As I was just saying, contestants have been open that Tyra had barely spoken to them or offered them help with their modeling career. This is essentially a reality show, and she was just like another, not a contestant, but like an actor. She was just playing a character of someone who's like caring about these girls and helping them through the competition. And, even though the show was a big hit, there haven't been that many models who have come out on the other side. Those who have, like Winnie Harlow, she has been open about Tyra not maybe being the best, like, figure or mentor or even a
That's so
helpful
crazy.
person at all.
So I really started after the show because that really didn't do anything for my career. Which it doesn't do.
Okay. I didn't really like that she said this, that it didn't do anything for her career, because that's where we met her. Surprise, surprise. People didn't know you before this. Um, and I feel like there's a good amount of people that have won America's Next Top Model, and people do know their name. Like me, I don't know these people's names. I can barely remember people I know's names.
Do anything
People
for
I meet
anyone
on the
else,
regular, I don't know their names.
We could do a whole episode on the Tyra Banks show and the emotional manipulation that she used to kind of have that daily talk show and the guests that she would bring on. But this emotional manipulation, these tactics, they were used on America's Next Top Model as well. Like when Tyra pretends to faint in front of everyone for a scene and just really playing with these girls.
She pretended to faint?
Not build a genuine relationship with this person because Tyra isn't being genuine at all.
So tired, you guys. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't mean to be all weak in front of you, but I'm just so lightheaded.
The fuck?
I had to include that fall because it is ridiculous. I mean, really, Tyra, no one's believing it, but that show was entertaining, even if it came at other people's expenses and probably left a bad mark on society and kind of like pushed us in the wrong direction. It was entertaining. Yeah. So
I don't know if it did all that. It was entertainment, and it was a reflection of what was going on in real life. Tyra was a little much, like yelling at the girl. But hey, it is TV.